Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Emily Bennett. We're learning more about a fire that destroyed a home, severely damaged another, and blighted the exteriors of two more in Leslie County. Our Connor James was there throughout the evening as crews monitored the fire and put out remaining hotspots. He has more.
Firefighters tell me the home where the fire initially happened went up in flames so fast. That's what caused the damage to the homes on both sides. Thankfully, one of those homes was just damaged in the garage. The other had exterior damage, but no internal damage. And there was also some damage across the street due to the sheer intensity of the fire to the health department. They had some shingles there melt. Smoke filled the downtown Hyden air as flames tore through homes on Hickory Street.
The flames were just humongous. You could see black smoke from up in town. And
Joey Jeffers' girlfriend lives only 2 houses from the blaze. He's thankful the families are okay.
yeah, I was worried about it, and I was worried about the other places around here too, but firefighters and everybody had it took care of from what I could tell.
As firefighters worked to keep the flames from spreading further, amid that chaos, a roof caved in on one of the firefighters.
I think he's going to be okay. They took him to the hospital, and I think he's going to be okay.
Brick walls are all that remain standing at the home where the fire happened, and for firefighters in this small community, fighting this blaze hit too close to home.
You know, a very dear friend, very close friend, they all are. Very close friends of mine, and it broke my heart. I couldn't hold it in.
Throughout the evening, firefighters continued to put out hot spots and salvage whatever memories they could from the homes. If there is a silver lining to really any of this, I'm told by the firefighters here that both of the families did have fire insurance and are expected to be covered in that regards. I'm in Leslie County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, crews for all 6 Leslie County fire departments responded. They also had help from the Hazard and Avalon fire departments. The cause of the fire is not known at this time. Soon work will begin to renovate the old Grand Hotel in downtown Hazard. More than 4 years ago, a fire destroyed much of the buildings. A disagreement on how to move on during that time between the landowner and the city left its future uncertain. Within the past few days, this new city administration and owner reached an agreement. A lawsuit is being dismissed, and work will begin in hopes to return it to its old storefront. We have much more on those developments tomorrow. Investigators in Rockcastle County believe they may have a serial arsonist. Firefighters say they responded to 3 fires all on the same street. Each appears suspicious. The first happened on January 2nd, then another on the 8th, and the most recent was on the 15th. People who live on Davis Street fear their homes could be next.
Because, a lot of us are afraid for our lives. A lot of us are afraid, it could be one of us next. And the fact that they've hit a trailer with a mother and daughter, it's ridiculous.
Chief Brian Carter says at least one of the victims got a message through a texting app saying, "You're next." So far, police have not released any details about a possible suspect. A federal jury today convicted a Laurel County man on federal meth charges. Timmy Fields faces anywhere from 25 years to life in prison. He did have prior drug and trafficking controlled substance charges. The jury found him guilty of possessing meth with intent to distribute. Sentencing is scheduled for May 8th. A man who once lived in eastern Kentucky could spend life in prison for sexually abusing children while in Cambodia. Prosecutors say Mickey Rife lived there from 2012 to 2018. 2 girls came forward and said Rife touched them under their clothes when both were under 12 years old. He pleaded guilty in federal court today. Sentencing is scheduled for May 27th. Shock. That is the only way to describe the reaction for employees at Sagebrush Steakhouse. When they arrived to work Wednesday, they found the door padlocked and chained. Sheriff's deputies tell us they served a right of possession at the Corbin location. One of the employees, Jesse Robinson, is a single father of 3. He found the doors locked when he was going to pick up his paycheck.
I was like, what's going on? Did somebody get hurt? Did something happen the night before? I was trying to get a hold of somebody and I didn't know any numbers to get a hold of. So I got a hold of one of the bartenders and they kind of told me what was going on.
Sagebrush's corporate office, who only opened the restaurant months ago, have made no attempt to contact us back.
And we finally saw sunshine return today, but sadly it's not going to last too much longer. You can see that here as we take a look at Interstate 64 in Moorhead. We saw that sunshine, then that sun setting, so we're dealing with those mostly clear skies, which is going to make it on the chilly side tonight. Already at 34 degrees in Whitesburg with those clear skies. Haven't seen temperatures that chilly in quite some time. Most of us into those lower 30s, and yes, we're going to continue to see those temperatures drop as we head into the rest of those overnight hours. And compared to this time yesterday, we're about 25 to almost 30 degrees colder. So yes, that cooler air has arrived, and it's going to stick around as we head into tomorrow. We've gone from well above average to well below average. You can see the past couple of days have been pretty warm, but we are going to see those temperatures significantly drop, especially as we head into the second half of the weekend. I'll have those details coming up in just a little bit.
Thank you, Paige. Now, rockslide shut down Kentucky 15 in Knox County for hours. The road is back open, but now crews are working on fixing a water line that was broken by the rocks. This is affecting more than 15,000 people. I spoke to officials who are working through the night to fix the break. When transportation officials heard reports of a small rock slide,
there was boulders probably piled up 20 feet.
Bobby Smith never imagined he would find something like this.
It was so big that, it would took us probably days to move it with the equipment we have.
But the cleanup process accelerated with the help of B&W Coal.
They was gracious enough to send us a large loader to help in aid of removal of this.
Though many took detours, truck driver Kevin Taylor found himself stuck and waiting.
I'll lose a couple hours, but it's part of the job.
While the boulders closed the road for hours, they also damaged a water line.
When I first got here, I wasn't really sure where all the water was coming from. It was really coming out of the ground.
One of the main lines running into Letcher County.
We're talking about around 15,000 people or something that's going to be affected by this.
Before Knott County Water and Sewer could shut off the line, General Manager Jared Salmon says it emptied their tanks.
We probably lost somewhere around 600,000 to 700,000 gallons of water.
Salmon's hopeful people will not be without water for long. For Kevin Taylor,
spectating is the best sport when this is concerned.
Just a little show while out on the road. Now, the water company did tell us they hope to have the break fixed in a few hours. However, the water will slowly be turned back on to make sure there are no other problems. Students in Pike County will have an extended weekend. School board officials canceled school tomorrow due to sickness. Students also have Monday off due to the holiday. During their time off, school employees will work to sanitize classrooms. They urge parents, if your kid has a temperature, to keep them home. Jackson County also canceled school for tomorrow. Both school systems will have an NTI day. Meanwhile, one Pike County student met President Trump today in the Oval Office. Take a look at her pictures. You might remember Emily. She is a sophomore at East Ridge High School who made headlines with her classmates last year when one organization called on them to remove a prayer locker at the high school. During that meeting, President Trump announced that his administration is issuing new guidance at the federal level on protecting the First Amendment right.
This afternoon, we're proudly announcing historic steps to protect the First Amendment right to pray in public schools. So you have the right to pray, and that's a very important and powerful right. There's nothing more important than that, I would say.
The new rules would ensure religious student organizations are given equal access to public school facilities, and states would be required to notify the Education Department of violations. Kentucky's state bird is the cardinal. The state flower is goldenrod, and if House Bill 27 passes, the state pet will be dogs and cats that have been adopted from Kentucky animal shelters. The bill was introduced in committee today. Animal advocates say it will raise awareness about overcrowded shelters. Kentucky is ranked among the worst states in the country when it comes to animal welfare laws. Supporters of the bill are hoping this measure may lead to more change in Frankfurt. Coming up at 11, a new federal proposal could add a new category for the booming CBD business. Why one store owner says the industry may be moving too quickly.
And clouds increase ahead of our next rainy system. We'll break down the timing and impacts of Saturday's rain coming up.